scams are one of the main disruptors of trust.
There is no age group, there is no particular demographics scammers are targeting.
We see a strong rise in authorized payments. We're moving from malware and hacks to the criminal convincing the person to send money.
It can happen to anyone. It can happen to all of us, me, you.
They take your money, they change their profile, now they've moved on to the next target.
I was contacted by an elderly lady. Are you George Abraham? And I said, yes, I am. I invested 800,000 euros and it proved to be fake. And George is now helping me to recover the money. But I said, madam, I'm George. You're not speaking to George. He is the scammer and he's trying to get more money from you. And she said, let me discuss with George. Then she hung up.
Let's talk about investment scam. It's a completely different scam type, but it can have an impersonation angle to it because maybe the person is pretending to be a financial advisor with a well-known investment entity that you've heard the name of before.
These kind of scams are very difficult to stop, to detect as well, because it's an individual's account, it's an individual's credentials, they use their own device, even for psychologists or the bank officials, so very difficult to stop.
The scam has gotten so profitable for the criminals. It's the leading crime that's taking place right now today and has been growing incredibly. The reported loss figures for investment scams was $6.5 billion for 2024 to the FBI.
Nations like Brazil, Argentina, South Africa, Kenya, and of course Southeast Asia, we see that part of GDP being lost in scams might be 1 or even 2%.
There are some estimates that put the cost of cybercrime reaching $15 trillion by 2029, and that sounds absolutely correct, maybe even a little low.
So if you see the scam chain, it starts from internet, it comes to mobile devices or telecom operators. From there it flows into social media channels or social media apps. There are so many actors involved now. And for any particular institution or entity to solve this challenge alone is very difficult.
Scammers are great marketeers and great social engineers. They are not doing this for the first time. They have scripts, they have tested their work hundreds and even thousands of times. They know how our minds work, and they build up a relationship of trust which is very hard to break.
So there's a lot of synergy between romance and investment scams, but there's a difference between the romance and investment scams as well. Investment scams promise a return. So investment scams kind of mix in between the urgency and the romantic relationship.
They're providing the victim with an investment opportunity, something that has guaranteed returns, is extremely exclusive. It's a low-risk investment opportunity. But it starts small, and then that grows over time.
Investment scams capitalize on a romantic relationship first, because that's that big ask at the end.
There are so many hybrid romance investment scams that also target younger users who have heard a lot about crypto, are interested in it.
If they post all over their social media about hustle culture and how they're going to be a millionaire before they're 30, and they're always talking about investing and that next big thing, oh, they're going to hit them with an investment scam.
The younger generations are maybe also slightly more impulsive, and they take more chances. And as a result, we now see that younger, highly educated people are being scammed more than other demographics.
There are success stories of people who invested legitimately in crypto and became, certainly very quickly, became quite wealthy. And so when you hear that, you go, well, this could be real, and I trust this person.
You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. You don't want to stall everyone else who may be invested in this as well. Not only are you affecting me, but you're affecting other investors, and we all have a shared interest in making this work, so I need your money.
We see that scammers are adopting AI very, very quickly. So they identify people on social media, then they start to target them with AI-generated messages. Once they reply to that message, they take them to a fake investment website, and the entire process is managed by AI.
So they might send $1,000 into the website, and all of a sudden, A week later, they're seeing a 30% profit. And this obviously encourages them to put more money into the website. And just to make sure that this website really functions, the victim will try to withdraw the money. And the first couple times they'll be able to withdraw the money. So pretty soon the victims go ahead and transfer their entire savings accounts. And when they go to withdraw the funds, the criminals will then at that point tell them that they have to pay fees or taxes, and no, they can't be deducted from the amounts that are already in this fictitious website. And so they basically encourage the person to go out and get more loans and maybe borrow money from friends or sell their car or get a mortgage for their house if they're able to do it. And we see this quite a bit with seniors and older adults who will basically invest their entire retirements into these schemes.
Sometimes you can recover the money, but most of the time, if it's person to person, you can't recover that. That's why this is such an important topic, and that's why this topic is growing so much. The way the scammers act, they change profiles very quickly, so they're hard to trace, they're hard to track down, and to recover that type of money, it's hard to do.
Once the victim finally realizes that they're not going to get their money back, they're often ashamed to come forward and admit that they fell for the scheme. Now, we know that typically only about 5% of the victims ever report being victimized by these things.
Underreporting of scams is a global phenomenon. People are unjustly ashamed that they have been scammed. We have to make the fact that you have been scammed something which you should be able to admit to your friends and family, because everybody can get scammed.
Cybercrime is a business. The adversary has a help desk on the dark web. They are monetizing, and so they are dug in to making sure that they impact as many people as possible.
They're setting up scam compounds, which are basically factories where people are scamming 12 hours a day, sometimes forced and sometimes because they just need a job.
There are buildings that house anywhere from 1,000 to tens of thousands of people, and they're strategically built in parts of the world where U.S. law enforcement or other law enforcement can't reach.
They have training programs, they have customer service teams, they have AI-fueled deception, they are constantly optimizing their setups. We're up against industrialized criminal online syndicates.
The scams and the modus of operandi on scams varies a lot from region to region. It depends a lot on the upbringing, on the demographics, on how the citizens are, how much they trust their government. In case of Singapore, we have seen that citizens trust the government very much. The physical space is pretty safe, the crime is very low. So when the citizens go and interact in online space, they expect the same safety. They think that they can rely on the person on other side, which is not true.
What we are trying to do with our members and with our partners is try to raise the cost of scamming. Because it's now very easy to set up a company without any verification. Then we have to lower the chance of success by educating consumers more and continuously inoculating them against scams and really help them then identify scams better. And finally, we need to work together with all the governments and law enforcement to catch the scammers. Because if we don't catch the scammers, it's a free crime and the problem will only grow.
I'm a strong believer of data sharing because it can supercharge our fight against scams. The nature of the scams are cross-border. You need to collaborate more, you need to share more.
We want to have the government agencies continue to work with the private sector and identify strategies that could be automated to protect businesses and individuals from becoming victimized by these different scams.
I'm a big fan of what happens in Singapore with the National Anti-Scam Center and in the United Kingdom with Action Fraud. So there's very clearly one place where consumers can report a scam. And that is not only making it easier for the consumer, it is also important because it allows a fast aggregation and analysis of data. And as a result, law enforcement can act faster.
So we're on the other side of that, making sure we collaborate with everyone so that we're impacting on the good side.
MasterCard came out with two of our solutions, Trace and Consumer Fraud Risk, which essentially looks the network behavior in place. So instead of having a singular view between financial institution, it takes into consideration the network view, and we are able to do a predictive scoring on any transaction before actually the user commits on the transaction. That became very effective in UK, and it's the only country which has reported a downturn on scam numbers by 24%.
We get to collaborate unselfishly. Government, with small businesses, with consumers, with other financial institutions. We even go outside of the sector and collaborate as well because that aperture needs to be wide, and we are in an arms race with the adversary. And we have to make sure that we're doing the right thing across not just one government system, but all government systems, everywhere that we have customers.
We just hosted the largest summit of Global Anti-Scam Alliance. We had law enforcement agencies, governments, anti-scam command centers, private sector institutions, entities like Interpol, Europol joining us. We had many victims who came on board and shared their stories so that we can educate more and more people.
I hope that in the next few years, we will be able to turn the tide on scams together with the banks, with the telecom operators, with governments and social media. And in the end, I really think we can turn the tide.
That's how I am in this space, and I'm so proud if we are able to save someone's lifelong savings from getting lost.
The romance scam at its core is emotional fraud. It starts out slow. I think the name of the game with these romance scams is incrementality.
We all want to be loved, don't we? And we all want happiness, so that's what I was looking for. And I guess that's what he was giving me.